Really what we're talking about is having power over your life as an individual. That God empowers you to take control of your life in spite of everything else that might point contrary to that. What you want, the better life, the things that you are passionate about and want to pursue, he gives you power. And I started listing, as I was thinking about these things, what that means to be fruitful and to be a witness. That you are empowered to change your identity. It doesn't matter who you've been in the past. This is the nice thing about people who, when they come to Christianity, they are who they are as a result of what they've experienced in the past. That's what shapes who they are as a person. But when you become a Christian, and through Christ, he gives you the opportunity to reshape who you are as a person, to change your identity. He empowers you to control or dictate your own destiny. It's not about what economic situation I was born into. It's not about what family I was born into, but he empowers me to say, this is what I want from my life, and that's what I'm going to go after. You're empowered to break cycles of dysfunction. That my mother was a certain way, my father had a certain dysfunction. This is what I grew up in, my brothers, and I'm seeing this thing playing itself out over and over again. Sometimes generation after generation. I am empowered to be able to break that and say that's not going to dictate and dominate who I'm going to be in my life. Empowered to overcome family mess. Empowered to be able to break away from the things that our families sometimes subject us to that make us feel like we're less than what God has said we can be. I can break away from that. I can walk in the authority that he's given me, become the person that he knows that I can be. And then if there's others in my family that want to get away, I can be strong enough to be able to go back and grab somebody else. I'm empowered to overcome dysfunctional childhoods, break free of toxic relationships, overcome stereotypes and conventions, to be able to overcome economic shifts. These are the things that God grants believers authority over. Meanwhile, we're sitting back waiting for God to change the situation. He says, I've given you authority over these things. I've given you power to... my economy went down, my pay rate went up. However, when the economy tanked, I started making more money. Economy got better, I kept making more money. That's the way that God has worked with, that's my own testimony. Somebody else's testimony may be different, but God's sufficiency allows me to be independent of economic downturns. I will still have what I need when I need it, enough to be able to bear fruit. I am empowered to be able to face off against my past and not let it dictate my present or my future. I can sit and look at the mistakes that I've made. I can sit and look at the things that I've done wrong, know that I did them wrong, not have to wrestle with shame, not have to wrestle with regret, because my personhood doesn't come from my past, my personhood doesn't come from my biology, but my personhood flows from God because I've been reborn, and who I am is a function of my relationship with him and not the past mistakes I've made. That's the reset button in life. That people say you can't go back, you can't fix it, you can't do it over again. God allows you the freedom to say, I am going to be somebody different. That's powerful. I'm not going to be chased and plagued by the stuff that I did wrong. I'm not going to let those things define my identity, define who I am, what I'm worth, how I see myself. I am what God says I am, and I'm going to pursue what he empowers me to do. I'm empowered to break chains of regret and insecurity. I'm empowered to prevent hurt, abuse, or neglect from determining my identity and my life's experience. I'm empowered to go boldly to God himself when I need help. When I need strength, I'm empowered to be able to go to him in times of need. I'm empowered to speak truth to power and walk in liberty. I'm empowered to approach God, to relate with him, and to pursue the partnership and the purpose that he has given me. We don't realize what we have in Christ, how much different our lives can be if we allow ourselves to be discipled in relationship with him. And in every phase of it, the joy, the peace, the contentment, the validation that we're looking for, the security, all of it comes. Being a Christian ought to be a powerful, powerful experience. where we see God manifesting his glory through our lives. And God is a glorious God, allows us to be able to completely rewrite the story of our lives, change the narratives of who we believed that we were, gives us and enables us to overcome our own doubts, our own insecurities, break the chains of what people expect out of us, what family members say we ought to be, what somebody else thinks we should be doing, and says, I got something for you that will, I have a purpose, there's something that you can be doing with your life, that you want to be doing with your life, that will make you feel everything that you've been looking for in every other aspect, in every other relationship. You wanted validation, you wanted to feel like you mattered. First of all, you don't have to do anything to feel like you matter. You do because I say you do. But then I will give you a trajectory and a path to walk on that will allow you to be able to fulfill dreams that you didn't even know you had.